All right, welcome everyone. Think of this as a masterclass in how we solve some of the planet's biggest environmental problems. Today, we're not just going to talk about sustainability. We're actually going to build a toolkit, a step-by-step method for turning a problem into a data-driven, persuasive solution. Let's get started.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a scenario. Imagine you see this happening in your town. Who actually has the power to stop it? I mean, is it just plain wrong or is it illegal? This simple question really gets to the heart of why we need a system, a set of rules, to protect the resources we all share.
So that system, it's all built on a foundation of legal frameworks. For our first step, we've got to understand the rulebook. And in the world of environmental protection, that rulebook is made up of some really powerful laws.
And here they are, the two heavy hitters of U.S. environmental law. On the left, you've got the Clean Air Act, which sets standards for what can come out of things like factories and cars. On the right, the Clean Water Act, which regulates what can be dumped into our rivers and lakes. Think of these as the foundational tools for managing our environment.
But here's the crucial point. You can have the best laws in the world, but they're pretty much meaningless if you can't tell whether they're actually working. We need more than just rules. We need proof.
And that proof? It comes from this key vocabulary word, a metric. A metric is simply a measurable value. It's the number, like parts per million of a pollutant, that tells us if the air is getting cleaner or if the water is still polluted. It's what transforms a law from just an idea into a reality you can enforce.
All right, so we've got the rules and we've got our method for measurement. Now it's time to look at the evidence. We're going to use a case study to see how these metrics act as the ultimate referee out in the real world.
So let's meet the town of Greenfield. They set this huge goal for themselves. Over 5 years, they wanted to dramatically reduce their reliance on non-renewable energy, fossil fuels, by investing in things like solar and wind power. A great goal, for sure. But how do we know if they actually succeeded?
Well, we look at the data. Here's their consumption of non-renewable energy, measured in megawatts, from before the initiative started in 2018 up to 2023. Just looking at the numbers, what trend do you see? There's a clear pattern here, right? It's definitely headed downwards.
Fantastic. You've seen the raw data, now let's step into the lab, so to speak, and actually analyze it. This is where we turn those plain numbers into a really powerful story of change. To really understand the scale of the change, we use a super simple but powerful tool, the percentage decrease formula. You just take the starting value, subtract the new value, divide the whole thing by the original, and then multiply by 100. It tells us not just that it changed, but how much it changed.
And here's our result. 40%. A 40% decrease. I mean, that is a significant measurable achievement. This single number proves that Greenfield's strategy had a massive impact. This right here is what turning data into insight looks like.
Okay, so let's put on our scientist hats for a second. Looking at this steady downward trend, what's your forecast for 2025? If they drop 200 megawatts in 5 years, where do you think they'll be in another 2? See? This is how we use data, not just to look back, but to actually plan for the future.
But of course, in the real world, it's never just about one number, is it? A huge transition like this involves trade-offs. Greenfield had to balance the cost of building solar farms against all the new green jobs it created. Yeah, they got cleaner air, but what happened to people's energy bills? True sustainability means thinking about the environment, the economy, and people's well-being all at once.
So you've got the laws, you've analyzed the data, and you understand the trade-offs. What's the next tool in our kit? Well, you have to convince people. Having the facts isn't enough. You need to build a persuasive case.
And for that, we have another incredible tool. It's called Claim Evidence Reasoning, or CER. This is a simple 3-step framework that is the absolute best way to structure an argument so that it's logical, powerful, and almost impossible to refute.
First up, you make your claim. This is your main point, your big conclusion, stated clearly and concisely. No fluff. You're telling your audience exactly what you want them to believe.
Next, you back it up with evidence, and this is where our work from earlier pays off. We present the hard numbers. Consumption fell from 500 to 300 megawatts. That's a 40% reduction. These are the cold, hard facts that support our claim.
And finally, the reasoning. This is the magic step where you connect the dots. You explain why the evidence proves the claim. The reasoning here is super straightforward. A consistent 40% drop is direct proof that the strategy worked as intended. Boom, that's a winning argument.
So we've covered the laws, the data, and the art of making a solid argument. We have literally built the entire toolkit from the ground up.
Now it's time to put those tools in your hands.
Here is a 4-step framework you can use to build your very own proposal. Start by identifying a problem in your community. Then, use data to design a solution, just like Greenfield did. Plan out the actual steps to make it happen, and describe the better future you're working toward. This is your blueprint for change.
So you can see, this isn't really an ending. It's more of a beginning. You now have the complete framework, understanding the rules, analyzing the data, and building a persuasive argument. The only question left is, what problem in your world are you ready to solve?